Hello again, YouTube. I'm here with my second video. Hopefully this one won't be quite as long as the other one. The other one was a little over a half hour. I ended up having to break it up into 4 parts. But it got a lot of views, so I was very happy about that. I'm very happy to see that I have 30 subscribers. It's amazing. Once you actually put some videos up on YouTube, people actually subscribe to your channel, so I'm really thrilled about that. Thanks very much. It's very encouraging. Makes me glad I took the time to do it, and I got a lot of nice comments. I really appreciate everybody watching and everybody commenting, and I'm really glad that so many people seem to have enjoyed the video. There are 2 Criterion DVDs that I forgot to mention in my previous video. I overlooked when I was grabbing them off my shelf. Anybody my age, I'm sure, has seen this movie in elementary school at one time or another. The Red Balloon. When my daughter was about 1.5 years old, I remembered this movie. I thought maybe she would like to watch it, so I went to YouTube. I typed it in. I was very happy to see that there was a copy of it up on YouTube. I showed it to my daughter. She loved it, and I thought to myself, "Gosh, I wonder if this is on DVD." And then a couple weeks later, I was in Barnes and Noble, and lo and behold, there it was sitting on the shelf. I had no idea Criterion had put this out, but I really like this movie a lot. I must have seen it. Unless I'm remembering incorrectly, I must have seen this in elementary school at least 3 or 4 times on 16 millimeter. And I always liked it. I remember the first couple times I saw it, I actually cried at the end. Did my best to hide that fact from my classmates. But it's a really good movie. It's just a nice little movie. There's not a whole lot to it, really. I don't think there's much, if any, hidden meaning behind it. I think it's just a little fable about a kid who makes friends with a balloon. Why not? Second one that I forgot to mention before is just slightly different in tone from The Red Balloon. The Testament of Dr. Mabuse. I blind bought this. I'd never seen it. I just realized what a redundant thing that was to say. Never mind. I had seen the Dr. Mabuse, the Gambler, in film school. Not the full version. The full version I think is close to 4 hours long, and it's one I'd like to get eventually. But I really liked it. The version that I saw, which is over 2 hours, I believe, but I saw it in the theater. They were having a revival, and our class... We were taking a class in German Expressionism, which is one of the best film classes I've ever taken. And we went to see it in a theater, Dr. Mabuse, the Gambler, and I thought it was great. I thought it was just so atmospheric and compelling. And this one, I watched this not too long ago, and it's great. It's a great crime thriller, but it's also a great German expressionistic film. I really enjoyed it, and I don't want to set this in stone. I don't want to say this with any degree of conviction because I may not have any idea what I'm talking about. But this movie seems to me to be a good example of right around when German expressionism morphed into film noir. You know, that just could be my personal interpretation, but it does seem to me that German expressionism led to a lot of the staples that we see even today in horror movies and mysteries and thrillers. I get the feeling that Bryan Singer was a fan of this, at least this character, when he did The Usual Suspects, because this is, I don't want to say it's exactly the same thing, but it's similar. It's got a similar feel to it, just the whole idea of sort of a mysterious figure controlling a group of criminals without them exactly knowing how he's doing it, I think is as a fascinating idea. And so I really like this movie. I highly recommend this. So now getting into the new stuff. I'll start with a DVD set that I bought. This is the first DVD set I've bought from the Eclipse series. I saw 2 of these. There's one of these I haven't watched yet, but I've seen 2 of them on Hulu. I have to read this. Dusan Makavejev. I apologize to any Yugoslavian people out there watching if I mauled the pronunciation of his name. But Dusan Makavejev, Free Radical. And these are this filmmaker's first 3 movies. The movie he's most famous for, that some of you may have heard of, is The Coca-Cola Kid with Eric Roberts. I've never actually seen it. But yeah, I've seen the first 2 movies in this set, Man Is Not a Bird and Love Affair, or The Case of the Missing Switchboard Operator. And then there's a third film called Innocence Unprotected. Comes in a slipcase. First movie, Man Is Not a Bird, is sort of a semi-documentary, semi-narrative film shot in a very, very gritty, sort of guerrilla style. And it's just about the working class in Yugoslavia at the time, when the country was going through all kinds of changes. I have to watch it again. This is not a movie that you just sort of watch and go, oh, that was good, and walk away from it. It makes you really, there's quite a lot of thinking to be done after watching this. The movie that intrigued me into buying this set and starting to watch this filmmaker's movies is this one, Love Affair, or The Case of a Missing Switchboard Operator. And it all started with a naked butt. This character on the front, there's a real famous shot of her laying on a bed naked, and there's a cat laying on her legs right underneath her butt. And it's a really cute, funny shot. And, you know, it's funny and it's clever and it's, you know, sort of naughty. And then it leads to, and I watched a clip of that shot on the Criterion site. It leads into this unbelievably fascinating scene of her making a cherry strudel for her boyfriend. It's this long shot of her making everything from scratch. It's really cool, and what the really funny moment is when this cuts from the shot of her butt to 2 eggs, and the eggs are positioned in the shot to make it look as though they're, you know, a set of butt cheeks. So there's a lot more to this movie than just naked butts and strudels, but that's a good starting off point as far as I'm concerned for any movie. And then this one I haven't actually watched yet. I'm really intrigued and I want to watch it, but this one is called Innocence Unprotected. And it's actually, this is a documentary. I believe it's a documentary he had nothing to do with, that was never released. And he took all the footage and just re-edited it and added his own footage. And this is what we've ended up with. So I am very intrigued to watch this sometime. And you know, maybe I'll do a more thorough video on this set sometime, because I think he's an interesting filmmaker. I've seen one other movie by him, which again I watched on Hulu, called Sweet Movie, which is one of the stranger and more disgusting movies I've ever seen.